And welcome into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. It's a victory Monday over here, Chase. A big old victory Monday. We'll dive into the big 73-0 victory over ULM. Definitely a blowout there, and we'll talk about it. Right? Definitely, there's plenty to talk about. Alabama really just steamrolling over ULM. Chase, this sounds so disrespectful. The Warhawks, right? Is that right? The Warhawks.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For a second, I almost forgot their mascot. But to be fair, their helmet is like it's kind of cool. It's got like the bomber type deal, like the planes. Helmet was cool. Their play was really bad, and we'll dive into that here in a little bit. But I titled our stream "Is Bama Back?" Right? A lot of people, right, wanting to see how Alabama would respond in this game. Although it was ULM, but people just wanted to see how this team would show up after going on the road to Tallahassee, dropping that first one to the Seminoles, who we might talk about briefly too, because Chase, they also had a big time, score in their football game as well. But anyway, I will say this before we really dive into what we saw from Saturday. The good news is the most important thing that I was looking for, I feel like I saw. Now, we talked about this last week. There's only so much you probably were going to get out of this game in terms of any other factors. Because again, I mean, it's ULM, right? We already knew what the deal was. But those intangibles, those things that I've been talking about that I wanted to see that we didn't see in week one, the good news is I feel like we saw those. I checked a lot of boxes. I'll talk about those boxes here in a little bit coming up. And hopefully you guys were pretty pleased with what you saw. Now, I will urge you guys, proceed with caution, right? Again, 1 week, right? ULM, we still got to take it 1 week at a time, which Kalen DeBoer acknowledged that, and we'll talk about his press conference in a little bit as well, which I kind of like how he keeps bringing that up. You can sense a shift, Chase. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's a shift in just how he's kind of responding now, right? I think he's kind of fully aware of how things operate and work around here. But anyway, just his demeanor and whatnot in these press conferences, I feel like there's a shift, and maybe in a good way. And maybe it came from a number of things. One might be one of his players. I don't know if you saw this clip, Chase, but there's a video going around circulating on social media where like Tim Keenan, he approaches Coach DeBoer, he's in his ear, and he's kind of like, I don't know if he's hyping him up. I don't know if he's jumping him a little bit, kind of, I don't know. I'm assuming he was hyping him up. But what a show of leadership, man. You got a player like that going to the head coach, and again, no one knows what was said. It's not like that was released or anything, but it was kind of cool to see that. Right now, if he was chewing him out, I'd feel bad for Coach DeBoer. I guess that's part of leadership, man. Sometimes you got to show some tough love. Anyway, we'll dive into all that good stuff here in a little bit. Again, we are presented by the Good Feet Store, America's art sport experts. Try before you buy. Nothing to lose. Make sure you guys check them out. Midtown Village here in Tuscaloosa is where you can find them. You can't miss them, right off of McFarland Boulevard. Make sure you guys check them out. Again, walk-ins are welcome. You can walk right in there. They'll show you how they work. Easy process. You literally just throw them in your shoes, boots, whatever the case may be that you might have on your feet, and these things get to work, help and eliminate and alleviate all types of pain, whether there's foot pain, knee pain, or back pain. So check them out now. If you want those benefits, I highly urge you guys to do so. Also, go to their website, goodfeet.com, where you can schedule an appointment if you'd like to do that and find more information and the nearest location they are nationwide. Again, that is the Good Feet Store, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. All right, so on the schedule for today, we'll definitely talk about Alabama, ULM, what we took away from that game. I guess good, bad, ugly, that stuff that we want to talk about. And we'll continue to kind of look forward and, look at this football team, what to expect moving forward. Again, Wisconsin, next one on the schedule coming here. Will be an early game, 11 o'clock, so quite the contrast. 6:45, now we're going really early, which I'm not complaining, Chase. Doing the post-game show at midnight is it's a little tough sometimes. Plus, dude, I'm working with like a pulled back. I don't know what I did to my back, but I feel like the closer I'm 29, right? I'm getting close to 30. Clearly, the closer you get to 30, Chase, just a heads up, things just start falling apart. It feels like the wheels are just kind of falling off, man. And it's crazy because I'm like, dang, I used to be running around and this and that, but I pulled something, I think. So, yeah, hopefully my Good Feet art supports help correct that ASAP. All right, that being said, some NFL updates real quick because I'm sure you guys are like me. You just like watching football. Caught a lot of the games yesterday, but the best one of all was last night's game. Baltimore taking on Buffalo. incredible, Chase. I don't know how much you caught of that game, but really good football game, man. In Baltimore, you just talk about Lamar and Derek. Number one, it was interesting. Remember, Derek signed with Baltimore, and I think he signed initially at least like a 1 year, like smaller deal, right? We know how backs are valued. Derek's in year 10, but there's no way you would be able to tell that literally this dude is year 10 playing running back in the league right now, the way he's playing, man. But does it shock me? No, because I always tell these stories about Derek and why he was really probably one of my favorite teammates to have played with because of his work ethic, his drive. I mean, his passion, his leadership, the fact that this dude was, Heisman favorite, but he still was working the same way he worked when he first got to campus and was trying to prove himself, right? Because my, skinny self was always in the weight room after practice. I've talked about this all the time. You know who else was in the weight room immediately after practice every day? Derrick Henry, right? Out of all people, a dude who's already 6'3", 245 pounds, the best running back in the country. He would be working out literally after practice. Didn't matter if it was a hard hat Tuesday practice. That dude was always in the weight room, trying to get extra, trying to just do whatever he could to improve. And I think that it explains, even if I'm sure you guys seen the workout videos that he posts of himself in the offseason, man. That dude's a workhorse, but he's having a great game or had a really good game. I know that the fumble is going to loom over him. I know how hard he is on himself. But that wasn't the only thing. Obviously, that definitely was a costly moment in that game. But you look at it, Ravens had an opportunity because they were up 2 scores, Chase, had an opportunity to go down and if they converted on that next drive that they had right after Buffalo scored, they would have secured the deal. But obviously, we saw how that went. They didn't end up punting it back, which that's kind of questionable. Some people feel like they should have just gone for it because Josh Allen was having his way with that against Baltimore's defense, man, just driving down the field. But a really good football game. Just I don't know, great football game. It really felt like a playoff game, honestly. But to be the first one opened up the season, really good game. And other, I guess, NFL news. I'm trying to think. Tua struggled. I know we talked about that before we hopped on here. Which is kind of interesting, man. I wonder if there's still some like carryover or some stuff spilling over from, remember in the offseason, like the whole Tyreek Hill stuff, guys? Like I feel like there's just some friction there. I don't know if that's kind of affecting the team, but Miami did not look great going against the Colts. But talk about Daniel Jones, man. He looked phenomenal. Granted, I'm sure Miami helped him out a little bit, but he played really well. I'm trying to think of any other big games. I know Arizona played New Orleans. I don't think there's anything crazy from that. Oh, the Jets and the Steelers. That was a good one. Aaron Rodgers getting the dub, but, how about Jalen Ramsey calling game, and it was crazy because him and Garrett Wilson got into it right before half. And then for that to be the final play of the game, man, that was a really good game. But I'll tell you what, man, Justin Fields is really improved. He looked really good to me out there as well. So that being said, man, really exciting first week of NFL action as well, man. Looking forward to a fun season. I don't know how many of you guys do fantasy. I didn't do it this year, but now I'm kind of like, dang, I wonder if it's too late to jump on it because that always makes it fun. Reed, Chase, you guys get into fantasy football or no?
I do. I actually have 4 leagues this year. I've got some with my work buddies, school buddies, some randoms online. And this week I actually went 4-0. So I mean that's pretty good for me.
Dang. All right. Well, shout out to you, man. So if anybody needs some fantasy advice, ask Reed. It sounds like he's pretty good at it.
Nah, it's just kind of a little bit lucky.
It happens. It happens. Well, that being said, guys, let's hit our first time out. We come back. We'll break down this Alabama ULM game. I got plenty of thoughts on it, right? If you guys listen to the post-game show, I'm sure you heard some of my thoughts. But if not, if you guys went ahead and went to bed, I don't blame you because it was a late one. You'll hear it right here on the YouTube stream. If you guys are joining us on the Facebook stream, via radio, on that Tide 100.9 app, whatever, right? I'm going to get my thoughts, but I want to get y'all's thoughts. What did you guys take from this Alabama ULM blowout against 73-0 victory Saturday evening? What were your positives? Did you have any negatives from the game? Did they answer any questions that you had going into the game? I want to hear from you guys. You'll hear from me. We can come back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. We'll be right back.
At Tuscaloosa Mazda, they are expanding their showroom to serve you better. Come see their new and pre-owned Mazda lineup, offering fuel efficiency, advanced technology.
All right, let's do a little bit of roll call. Who we got in here? Ryan, what's up? Mike, what's up? Arthur, what's going on? Crystal, how are you? Daryl, Dave, Dwight, Bama Ball number 9, what's up? Jeremy, what's going on? Phil, what's up? Yeah, go ahead and let me know what you guys thought of that game Saturday. I'll give y'all my breakdown when we come back from this quick timeout. Jarrell, what's up? If you guys haven't, man, drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. That always helps us out, man. We appreciate you guys big time for sure, man. YouTube has been blowing up fast, man. I love it. So if you guys got anybody else you think is going to be interested in the content that we're dropping, man, make sure you guys share the video, all that good stuff, man. We got a whole bunch planned for you this season. Plus, we're going to get Slade on here pretty often. So we'll have Slade come break down some stuff, maybe some more offensive side of things. So that'll be good. We got plenty of other guests that we'll get, so it's gonna be good, man. QD, what's good, bro? T Smitty, what's up? Roger, what's going on? Let me text him right now. Like what I saw from 12 and 17. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Now you guys see why everybody's been buzzing about those guys over the last, how long has it been since spring? I don't know, what, 7 months or so, something like that? 6 months? Yeah, keep dropping y'all's thoughts on what y'all took away from the game. I'm going to get to all those when we come back. Golly, man, my throat. Bama needs a flush and be ticked off next week. Yeah, no, you definitely way I look at it is, man, definitely a great confidence builder, but also at the same time, just like you said, man, you got to make sure guys understand, like, that's why even like me, putting this title, you'll hear me say it in a second, like, this game does not mean everything's just back perfect, right? At all. That's just, I got to do a little clickbait sometimes. But that being said, definitely was the step we needed to take. 1,000% was the step we needed to take. But yeah, in terms of Roger, your comment about 12 and 17, man, 17 is, man, he's going to be a really good player, man. He ain't very big, but shoot, he's a dog though, for a young guy, man. I don't see how you don't try to incorporate him more moving forward. I mean, again, I know it's ULM. I get Ryan was out, but all that aside, I mean, he's a good football player, man. Riley was a baller, absolutely. Absolutely. How tall is QB Reese? Probably 6'1", maybe. I don't know what he's listed at, but that's what I'd probably say, about 6'1" or so.
Great moments from
12 can spin it. Absolutely. So now you guys see what I was talking about, right? Like between the three, because you guys got to see all three. Remember, we didn't have a spring game, but you probably got the gist of what I've been explaining. Like, you watch Keelan, you can just see he has the highest upside out of all of them. Now, I know Ty was perfect. Ty looked really good. Don't get me wrong. But in terms of upside, Keelan's got both those guys beat. But then you look at Mac and you see where he's at right now. You can just tell he's a little bit further along, right? But that definitely could change over the course of the year. But that's why I was saying, I think somebody asked, like, oh, so if they went with the backup, who would it be? Right now, Mac would be that guy. And he can throw it. Sometimes he just tries to throw a little bit too much zip. Just needs a little more touch. But I think all three quarterbacks are good. And I think you could be successful with all three, honestly.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.
Of course, we get a Babbel ad, Chase. No, listen, don't get Babbel. I'll tell you guys how to learn a new language. Babbel's not bad. I tried it, but I didn't really like it like that. And welcome back into this Monday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, let's dive into this Alabama ULM breakdown again. 73-0 victory. I mean, that doesn't get more dominant than that. Granted, it was ULM, so we expected that. But I'll be honest with you, man. A 70 ball, that's a big number. I think my prediction was like 48-10. Obviously, we blew that way out the water. So let's just start there. 73 points on offense. I mean, A+. Again, let's just take the opponent out of the situation for a second. Goose egg on defense, A+. I mean, that's what you want out of your respective units, right? I mean, score a whole bunch of points and don't let them score at all, right? So, I mean, from that standpoint, great. Now, again, and I'll talk about this in a minute, ULM, we already know the deal, right? Going into this game, we even said, like, the score won't really influence us on, our outlook on where things are at. I truly still believe the true test is down the road when we travel to Athens. But in terms of getting on the right track, I do believe this was the right step, right? And here's why. Not because of the 73-0 score, even though that looks beautiful, but more so because of what I saw throughout the entire football game and the questions that I had going into the game that ended up being answered, right? Number one, intensity, right? From the moment that ball was kicked off to the moment that clock hit zero, I feel like I saw that, guys. I feel like guys were flying around, specifically looking at the defense. I mean, talk about night and days difference from week one, guys loafing, jogging around, not playing physical, lack of intensity, both mentally and physically, right? Versus this week, right? And I did say this, I'll be honest. It is a little bit easier when you're going out versus a lesser opponent to kind of have that juice sometimes, but we'll put that to the side for now. The fact that I saw guys flying to the football, right? Not just one guy, two, but several guys, right? They talk about that swarm mentality. I feel like we saw that come back to life in this game. So I was pleased with that, right? Guys making an effort, which was huge. I mean, because, again, those are things you can control. You control your effort, your attitude, intensity, all that. And I feel like we checked those boxes. And it didn't just happen from, the ones. It didn't just happen in the first, second, third series. It happened for the whole football game. And I was very pleased with that, right? Everybody that got an opportunity played to that standard. The offensive line, right? A lot of physicality there. Guys doing a better job climbing up to the second level, right? Finishing blocks, opening up lanes. Guys running hard, which I feel like we saw that in the first game, but still just to see that continue was nice. Talk about Kevin Riley, a Tuscaloosa native, a guy that has really just come along, man. And it's crazy to think about because, I mean, he really was probably running back 4 just a couple of weeks ago, right? I mean, just not long ago, this guy was probably running back 4, but, due to injuries, obviously, with Jam, I told you guys, somebody's going to have to step up, right? We talked about that. Who's going to be that guy to say, hey, man, like, we got an opening. I'm that guy. Give me that shot. And it was him, right? I was thinking, Daniel Hill, maybe Richard Young, right? Those guys have a little more experience on them. But sure enough, it ended up being the guy, the local kid who is the smallest still. He's put on some weight. But, I mean, talk about a dude that just runs hard, has that explosiveness when he's finding his holes, has the the patience at times when needed, but when he does get have that opening, right, has good vision, he takes it and he's not afraid to contact. He'll lower his shoulder. He's not shying away from things, even though he's shy of 200 pounds. So I'm really impressed with Kevin Riley, man. So shout out to him. I always love stories like that of guys getting opportunities and making the most of it because again, man, a few weeks ago, he probably didn't think he wasn't going to do much but other than special teams duty or mop-up duty. And now this guy's the back. Now, obviously, when Jam comes back, Jam will go back to being running back 1. But to me, it's clear as day, right? Jam, Kevin Riley, and then I think you'll probably feature in, obviously, Daniel Hill, Richard Young, and other situations there. But I'm really excited about him. And not only, his ability to run the football, obviously, he does a great job doing that. Again, explosive, quick, fast, can lower his shoulder, right, even though he's a smaller guy. But guys, even the impact that he has in the passing game, right? I mean, I believe he caught. I'm trying to pull up the box score now, so bear with me. But I want to say it was around like 6 receptions that he had. I mean, which obviously we've seen now. This offense really it likes to feature running backs in the passing game, tight ends. Obviously, we knew that. But you look at let's see, Kevin Riley had. I just had it right here. Yeah, 6 receptions for 45 yards. And he has good hands, right? So I'll be honest, man. I've been really impressed with what I've seen out of him. I know somebody in the chat mentioned Lancia Brooks, filling in, getting the start, I believe, with Ryan Williams out. How impressive did he look? Again, a really young guy that, everybody's been talking about. Well, now you guys got to see it on display, and you understand why there's been so much hype. So I will say this, man. A lot of guys got to play in this football game, not just trash duty, but if you noticed, throughout the game, even early on, obviously a lot of people were scratching their heads when Austin Mack came in. Ty is perfect, right, with this completion rate. Then they sent Austin Mack in there, and people are wondering why. But to me, guys, that was something that I thought was really – I thought it was smart, right? And here's why. Number one, you're getting Austin Mack some experience. And it's not necessarily saying, Ty didn't play great week 1. But I think what it's sending a message to is that we are still competing, right? And I know that they still are rolling with Ty. Ty is still quarterback 1. It's not really like, we're sending Austin Mack out there to necessarily compete. But I think doing stuff like that not only gets guys experience, but it also sends a message to everybody that we want the best guys in here. And after week 1, we weren't pleased, right? That wasn't what we wanted. That's not our standard. So we're opening the floor, right? We saw Michael Carroll fill in at right tackle for Wilkin-Formby, who struggled in week 1. He came in early in the game, right? I mean, literally, if you looked across the board, these coaches are saying it's an open invitation, right? If you can play, you can play, right? Just like you look at Kevin Riley, right? He stepped up. He earned an opportunity. So I think what they realized is, hey, maybe we do need to give another look at some of these guys in a game-like setting and see what they can do. And I think a lot of guys were impressive with those opportunities. Again, we understand it's ULM, but in terms of just seeing guys go out there, play with effort, be able to execute, right? That's kind of what you're looking for in these situations. And I think you saw a lot of that. So I like the decision to do that. But speaking of the quarterbacks, you got to tip your hat to those guys. I mean, all of them were pretty damn good in this game, or really damn good. Starting with Ty, who set a record. He was perfect on his completion rate, 17-17, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns. I know he had a rushing touchdown or so. Austin Mack coming in. The first half, we were perfect. As a matter of fact, it was 20 of 20 because Austin Mack was 3 of 3. But he ended up finishing 8 of 10 for 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keelan Russell comes in there, gets a standing ovation, goes 4 of 6 for 2 touchdowns as well. So I know a lot of people are looking at all the quarterbacks and really, really impressed, and rightfully so, man. I think we have a really good quarterback room. And obviously, I think, with Keelan Russell, you just see, right, that what we've been talking about, just how natural the ball comes off his hands. Like his throwing motion is quick. He's got zip on the ball. He's accurate. He just has that factor, right? And that's what I've been talking about. Now, obviously, he's still, young. He's still learning in terms of the system and operating things like that. But you can just clearly see when he does get all that down, man, he's going to be quite the weapon. So everybody's really excited about that. And I thought he looked really good getting his first game time action out there. Like the fact that we were running the ball and doing it effectively. Again, I know it's ULM, but just again, right, just the fact that we're just, again, it's almost like, I wouldn't call it a touch-up game, but just kind of getting back on track game, right? So that was nice. But the biggest thing to me, though, if you look at Ty's performance, somebody asked me this on the post-game show, like, what was it that made him so much different in this game? Well, number one, he looked a lot more confident. He trusted himself. The timing, the rhythm was much faster. And I think part of that, too, comes from the fact that if you look at the play calling from Ryan Grubb early on, I mean, there's a lot of gimme throws, right? A lot of screens, a lot of quick flares, right? Just dumping it off, setting him up, right, to get in the rhythm. And that's what you do as an offensive coordinator. You want to make your quarterback comfortable because then, right, when you do dial it up, he's already in a groove. He's feeling it, and then he can make those throws like we saw. I mean, even the ability, making throws, rolling out on the move, he struggled with that week 1. Week 2 was way better, right? To me, I think that was a matter of the confidence that he had. He was feeling it because he had, again, those quick, easy completions and being able to run the football. That's why we harp on that so much, because you've got to set your quarterbacks up for success. And I thought that the play calling in this game definitely did that. And again, I think you definitely need to build off of that moving forward. Jeremy Bernard, I mean, I think it's clear that this guy's wide receiver 1. And I know initially Ricky had brought this up, so much attention on Ryan Williams, but I'll be honest with you, man. I mean, Jeremy's just ability, running routes, he's physical, right? His ability to get open, making plays, his ability after the catch. Everything just screams wide receiver one. His reliability. This guy is an animal, and then not to mention a great leader off the field. Really was happy for him just to continue to do what he's been doing, and I definitely think he's going to end up hearing his name called really early in this NFL draft that comes after the season. We talked about Kevin Riley, talked about Latsier Brooks. James Smith defensively, I thought really stepped up in this game, was looking for some guys on the defensive line, especially with Jeremiah Beeman being out. I thought the freshmen that were in there at nose, again, they're not perfect. They're young guys, but I thought they held their own pretty good. But James Smith really flashed. I think he had 3 tackles for loss in this game, 4 tackles total, but he was very disruptive. I thought that this was a good opportunity to help build him some confidence, right, moving forward as we progress in the season, because I think he will be really important down the line for this defensive line unit and this defense in general. We forced some turnovers this game, something we didn't do in week 1, right, which was huge. Started with Justin Jefferson, really nice play on the ball, but you got to give the assist to Yanze Pierre. They ran a TE game, right, where that tackle sets a pick. The defensive tackle sets a pick on the offensive tackle, and then the defensive end wraps. Yanze got in there, got a hand. I don't know if he really tipped the ball or just got a hand on the quarterback's arm, but led to an interception by Justin Jefferson. So really nice play there. Then obviously some of the younger guys coming in, man. I know QB Reese had a recovery. And then I think he also punched one out. Seeing Dre Kirkpatrick in there, I think he might have forced the other one, right? Because I think there's a total of 3. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong, but I think there was the interception, and then I want to say QB Reese and Dre Kirkpatrick both forced a fumble. But attacking the football, again, that comes when everybody swarms the football, when you're playing physical, right? When you're sticking your nose in there, you're not, throwing your shoulder, shying away from contact. Those things happen. So it was really nice to see that defensively, which was, again, something that I really was looking forward to in this game. All that being said, I guess the only couple negatives would be I think we had 2 touchdowns negated by penalties. One was, in my opinion, a bad PI call. Bernard got called for offensive PI. I think the guy kind of got in front of him. I don't know what else he was really supposed to do there. And the other one, I think, was it when did Ty run one in and they called it back? I can't remember. But just want to clean that up, be a little bit more clean with that. And then the only other thing, and so I guess if you want to consider this, maybe that could be the ugly in this. We do the good, bad, ugly. I guess the bad would be, because this one really ugly. It showed up at times. I still just don't see that pass rush there. And you guys know me, like, as an edge guy, as a defensive guy, and just as a football guy in general, just knowing how important it is, I just don't see that. And to me, you would think that would show up. It's ULM. To me, like when I play in these games, I'm like, I'm trying to go for 2, 3, if not more sacks, right? And there was opportunities. They were throwing the football. That needs to improve. Now, one thing I did notice that we did in this game that was a little bit different in our dime looks. I know everybody keeps kind of painting like we're doing these like exotic, like 3-2 things. Again, guys, it's just dime defense. It's nothing new or different. Just so we're clear, we're in dime. But what they did was they rolled Deontay Lawson down, so he is an edge rusher, and they bring Bray down as like a dime backer type deal, which again is completely normal. You normally only have 1 linebacker on the field in dime. Why? Because you have 4 defensive linemen, you have 6 DBs, right? So that's 10 guys. There's only 11 guys on the field. That makes room for 1 linebacker. So again, when people make it seem like Kane Womack's doing these crazy, and I'm not trying to like downplay Kane, I'm just trying to explain to you guys, like, it's just dime defense. So if you're watching, you're like, why are we doing these 3 down? No, guys, it's just dime defense. Everybody does it. But anyway, what was interesting was, and what was new was Deontay slid down. Now, in my head, I'm trying to figure out, is that because they think it's like last year that he's one of the best edge guys that they have that can get pressure? Remember, Jahad Campbell. You had Q Robinson last year. And then they also used Jahad down there because he was one of the best edge guys that could get pressure on the quarterback, especially when Q got hurt. They really always used him there, right? I'm just trying to figure out, was Deontay down there because they don't trust the other, or they think he's better than the other edge guys that we have? Or is it just sometimes people will do that to think about it. If you don't have time to sub, right, it's easier to say, hey, slide down here, right? Because Well, I guess you'd have to sub if you're a dime. So, yeah, I don't know. Just interesting, though. So we'll see how that develops. I'll be honest with you, though. I mean, he obviously has athleticism, but I didn't – it's not like he was working any, like, true moves. But who knows, right? I mean, I know Reggie did that for us, too. Like, we used to just slide Reggie down in 2014 to edge from inside backer. So, again, nothing new. It's a very common thing. But to me, we just aren't getting enough pressure on the quarterback. And I'm like, somebody's got to – we got to have somebody step. I'm like, Yonze had some pressure there off the edge. I think Quay Russaw can do it too, but I haven't seen enough, guys. And we're going to need that down the stretch. So that being said, that's pretty much everything I gathered from it. I might have missed something because I kind of abandoned my notes here, and I just wanted to kind of flow.
Christian, I hate to interrupt you, but I was also going to kind of agree with you there because, and it's almost a little bit worrying kind of going forward that in the past, like 2 games we played, of course, it's Florida State and ULM, 2 games only, but only out of those 2 games, only 1 sack. And I mean, we've applied those pressure, but could that be like a concern going forward?
Well, yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, it's definitely a concern. That's one of the most important things in football, right? And that's the reason why pass rushers are some of the highest paid guys in the NFL. So I'm not even really looking at the number. It's not so much like, oh, we only had 1 sack. Like, yeah, if you look at numbers, but again, it's more so about affecting the quarterback. I just don't really see us really just getting back there a whole bunch. That's more alarming. Like, sometimes you're not going to always, hit home, right? But that's not – just like Coach Saban used to say, it's not always about getting sacks. It's really just about affecting the quarterback. And we just have to do a better job of that. And if we don't have guys that are just winning one-on-ones, which that's what I haven't really seen, right? I mean, I haven't really seen guys just go out there and just go dominate one-on-ones. And that's more concerning to me. So if that's the case, if we have to dial up pressure, bring 5 guys more, so be it. But we're going to have to find ways to affect the quarterback because if not, I'm telling you right now, when we get into these games with good quarterback play, right, they're just going to pick you apart. Doesn't matter what kind of drops you're doing, all that. The quarterback, if they have time to sit back there all day, they're going to sit there and they're eventually going to find a window, right? Especially if you're playing some type of zone, even if you're in man, because what guys do is they start breaking off routes or finding opportunities. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. So to me, that's probably the only thing that really stood out in this game that I just wasn't like, blown away with. But like you said, Reed, I mean, it's going to be important down the stretch, and hopefully they can get that cleaned up. But that being said, we got to hit a timeout. Definitely went way over, so we combine these breaks. When we come back, we'll get you guys' response. We got plenty of responses here in the chat. Again, if you guys haven't checked us out yet on YouTube, do just that. At the Miller's Edge, we stream the show live here Monday through Friday, same times that we do the radio. Plus, we'll be adding some extra stuff here after hours as well. And always download that Tide 100.9 app. That way you can listen to us and all the other shows wherever you're at. Literally, it can be anywhere in the world, and you can check us out or the other shows on that app, Tide 100.9. Quick timeout. We'll be right back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Why no post-game show on YouTube this week? Man, it was so late, I'll be honest with you. And I do the official post-game show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, so had to take care of that. And last week what I did is I was just streaming me doing the post-game show. And then I just, as you guys know, I just hung out here and we did it like that. And I was going to try to do something like that, or I was even going to try to do it before I did the post-game show, because sometimes if I do it immediately after, I could squeeze in like 30 minutes or so, because they got to get Coach DeBoer's interview and all that. But I don't know. I'll be honest with you, it was ULM. We beat them 73-0, and trying to squeeze all that. I was like, yeah, I'll just lock in on the post. Plus, it was so late. It was like literally 12:30, so I didn't know how many people would even be up. So I figured we'd just catch it here on Monday. But don't worry, we'll be back doing like this week. We should definitely be able to do it as an earlier game. And no, I was not watching UCLA. I was watching South Carolina was still playing. I was watching that game, and I think there might have been another game. Pastor Payne has joined us. He's popping his gum. He's on the road. Where are you headed this time?
Work.
Oh, nice.
Back back-to-back.
Let me go back up to the chat and see what we missed. Let's see. Y'all's thoughts. I want to get y'all's thoughts. I know y'all had a bunch of them. Landon says pass rush still looked to be a step too slow on Saturday. Yeah, it was what we talked about. So yeah, Landon, you agree for sure. Somebody's got it. We got to just step that up, man. Like we just have to figure out again whether it's running more games, which they ran some games in this game, but you got to find a way to affect the quarterback. And again, I'm not saying they didn't at all. I thought there were times we talked about the Justin Jefferson interception, and again, that is the perfect example of why you have to affect the quarterback. You see what happens. You get in his face, you get a hand on the ball / arm, leads to an interception, right? It's not always about a sack, man, but you got to get back there. You got to make him uncomfortable. And we just don't really have anybody that's really emerging, right? Like, somebody mentioned like Dallas Turner, right? Will Anderson, Chris Braswell, like those are the most recent guys. Chris Allen. Since those guys left, or Q Robinson, right, last year until he got hurt, but I hadn't seen any of that yet. Let's see. Mike said he's heading down Saturday. Yeah, hopefully, maybe we can catch up. I definitely want to plan on still trying to make that happen. Maybe start Hill Green and QB Reese. I mean, QB Reese definitely had a really good game. Hill Green looked physical out there. I think, to me, I wouldn't keep him in like as a 3-down type deal. I mean, if you want to maybe play him more like first, second down type deal, then more passing situations, take him out. I could see something like that. Let's see. QD said he saw intensity for 60 minutes. Yeah, I did too. Each game has to be treated as important. No time to slack off. Absolutely, man. Riley was a baller. Wait. Am I drawing a blank, guys? Riley. Oh, Kevin Riley. I'm sorry. Do you see the Waddle comparison? I definitely kind of see it. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more out of what's the name for? I mean, because those are some big shoes to fill. But I can see the early comparisons for sure. AK is a home run hitter. That was an impressive run by him for sure. A lot of good young talent in that room, man. Looking forward with the Slade segments. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll see when he can hop back on here sometime this week. But he's definitely going to be on here pretty frequently. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo te va? Espero que estés bien. Like the hard hits, absolutely.
And the other discount contract.
Wait until 40. No, don't tell me that, guys. No, I'm going to get right, man. I've been doing a lot of stretching and stuff, but I'm going to figure this out. What impressed me was that the 2s and the 3s had that same. Do what?
Q asked me what game was I'm coming to Tuscaloosa. I said probably Tennessee game.
Oh, yeah. What impressed me is that the 2s and 3s had that same intensity. That's something that that didn't happen much in Coach Saban's tenure. I'm telling you, because they probably realized, man, they probably realized there might be some opportunities for them to get some more, earn some more opportunities. Yeah. I mean, with Coach Saban, I'm not gonna lie. Once we kind of had our guys, man, like it wasn't like some open challenge,
9149 for your free estimate today. That's 205-39.
Let's see. Trying to get all you guys' comments before we come back here. Carol and Lloyd, yeah, the young tackles look pretty good. Love Cole Adams' energy. Proctor will be a guard in the NFL. I definitely think he ends up making the move to guard. I mean, if and maybe his body type, maybe he just can't. But I mean, if he would just shed his feet are actually good. I mean, I just think if he lost the weight, I mean, it would just be so beneficial.
Injury.
But let's see.
In the case with Proctor.
Say it again. Young
I said
Bucks
probably
getting
could be
hungry.
like Evan Neal.
He
Evan Neal
struggled.
played for the
He
Giants.
struggled, but he struggled with the Giants.
Oh, they moved him
Proven
back.
track
Oh, he's
record.
still.
I mean, shoot, Tyler Steen moved from tackle. He wasn't nearly as big, but Tyler Steen moved from tackle to guard, and he's doing really, really good with the Eagles right now. I don't know if Steve is ready, but like the motor he has. Yeah, he's still raw product, but
live sunshine both days. Highs between
he's a
85
strong
and
dude,
88.
though, man.
Thursday, partly to mostly sunny with a high at 89.
If you think Womack
I'm
has the
James
defense
Spann with
thinking
the
too much
Alabama
in this
Weather
plan,
Network on
I don't
Tide
think they're thinking too much,
100.9.
honestly.
It's 77 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back into this Monday edition of Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. Just gave you guys my very long-winded review of the 73-0 blowout over the ULM. Hold on, I'm going to get it right. Wait, Warhawks? Wait, dang, man, I already messed it up. Wait, no, I got it right. The Warhawks over the Warhawks this past Saturday. So I'm going to shut up. We are joined by the pastor of pain. I know I said we're going to go to you guys. During the break, we were reading all you guys' thoughts here in the chat. Again, we are live on the YouTube stream, so check us out at the Miller's Edge. Come join us. It's free. All we do is ask. You drop us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But that being said, I do want to open up, before we go to the phone lines, the floor to the pastor of pain to get his thoughts on Alabama's 73-0 victory over the Warhawks this Saturday. You still with us? All right. It seems like he's enjoying his gum a little too much. I don't think he had an answer yet, but I'll let him rejoin. I think he had to rejoin. That being said, let's go to the phone lines real quick, then we'll come back to him. I know we got Ragged up first. Ragged, welcome in.
Hey, what a beautiful day, right?
That's right. What's up, Ragged?
Man, kudos to Derrick Henry. What a class act, okay? Heartbroken, yes, but you know what? Suck it up and you move on. Play the next game.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you, and I mean, thoroughly enjoyed this blowout because the whole entire team and organization, from the coaches on down, brought it all together. It wasn't just a stagnant type of, this type. I mean, what I saw is what I have been trying to get. Wish I could even talk to them, that they could do this. And now I want to shift it to defense, because that's something that's right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
This was very reminiscent of the game I saw, and I want to know if you were part of it, where our defense, the Crimson Tide, did not let LSU get past the 50-yard line. I don't know if it was in Death Valley or if it was here, but do you remember that game?
I do. And I want to say I was a part of that game. I just don't remember what year it was.
I can't either. All I remember is we left no doubt. Defensively, I'm standing up for us. I think we're going to be okay. Alabama, get ready. We're turning it around. And I am going to tell you right now, with what I saw, embarrassment, like I said, is a great motivator. There is no reason why we should lose another game. If you bring this all back together, and this POM this morning, if they would have done that, I would love to have been another fly on the wall and say, you know what, you guys, we got this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Rag. That's actually a great point. You talked about Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because so here's the deal, Ragged. We actually know a little bit more info about the POM, right? And if you guys are wondering, what are they talking about? Players
Thank
only
you.
meeting. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the,
correct.
actually we found out. So it ended up not being a real players only meeting. Allegedly, word is
Oh,
that
really?
Coach DeBoer ended up inside the play. He infiltrated the players only meeting, and I think he sent a message in there. So it sounds like they had a moment where, again, like I told my dad last week, normally how it works is it's a chance to get stuff off your chest, address things with people that you feel like you need to just come out with. You got to just get it off your plate. You know what I mean? Unload it and then move forward. And it sounds like Coach DeBoer even took part in that. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know. Does that mean the players only meeting
That's
work?
great.
Who knows? But we'll see moving forward.
Well,
but
yeah,
it's a good
obviously,
start, though.
obviously it did. Exactly. Because now we're moving up from Pop Warner into Pony Lead and whatever, and we're getting ready to face the next level of opponent coming here. You've got to keep that same intensity and focus, and you've got to lay it all out on the line. Every one of you players only get one chance at a transfer portal come January. So you better think hard and clear. You better increase your stock. So bring it. Show the world that Alabama is going all the way. Every single game. That's all I got. Sorry, Pastor of Pain. I got to do a little preaching too.
There you go. Well, Ragged, we appreciate you, brother.
Ragged.
I love you guys.
Yes, sir. All love,
you
brother.
Too. Chapstick is in the mail. I'll stop at the post office up here the next exit. Wow. But listen, thank God they didn't do your typical POM, players only meeting. What happened? Kalen DeBoer went in there and he held players accountable. What you saw was that if you're not playing, you're out. If your play don't match up to your money, you're out. Next guy up. And they had an urgency. Those guys played like they were hungry, like they were thirsty. They played aggressive. They were 11 hats at the football on defense. They finished blocks. The biggest thing to me was just that. They got back to like it meant something. They went from a non-caring group of guys to guys that were passionate and that was very caring. And I thought that was beautiful to watch. And listen, that game, even though we said it didn't mean anything, from a score perspective, in this case, it meant a lot. Because what they did was dish-ragged ULM. There was no question. They shut them out. They didn't pull back. They finished from start to finish. And to me, that was evident of the coaches got in their tail and finally started to coach. They heard it. They heard it. They heard it from National. They heard it from us. They played like some cornbread, fried chicken, eating dudes that was hungry. And they played like the baby needed diapers and them little kids needed some Similac. They played that way. And that's the way and the effort they have to play with every single Saturday. It don't matter. It's like it's nameless and it's teamless on the jersey. If they're not Alabama, we come to seek, we come to kill, and we come to destroy. That's the mission. And that's what they look like. So applaud Kalen DeBoer. I give it credit where credit is due. And we're going to call your tail out when you need to be called out. But this week, A+ all around. A+ all around. I don't care who it was. ULM? We going to beat you into a pulp. I mean, that's what you do. And to me, mentally, mindset was on display. And I pray that they can keep that right there, because they keep that right there, they can be with, play with anybody in the country. It don't even matter.
Do you think it had anything to do with this right here that we see on the YouTube stream? Tim Keenan walking over to Kalen DeBoer on the sideline. He got in his ear, looked like he was hyping him up, kind of telling him like,
he's been around. He's letting them know, hey, we have a standard, and you coaches and players didn't hold up to that. Thank God for Tim Keenan. You, hey, do your thing, big fella.
Yes, sir.
Do your
Love
thing.
it. All right, we got to hit this top hour break. When we come back, we keep on rolling. Plus, speaking of the coaches, they spoke to the media today. We'll hear from them. And to your point, here's a quick little snippet. Ryan Grubb had this to say. I thought maybe I wasn't hard enough on Ty before the Florida State game. I didn't harden him enough for the moment. I didn't want to make that same mistake again. Sounds like the coaches did receive a message, right? That playtime's over. That it's not time to be friends anymore. And we saw the result of that.
That's what I've been talking about. Stop acting like you're the substitute teacher. You the head, blank in charge. And they acted like it this week. They were being like the substitute. Oh, how y'all doing? Pull out your textbooks. No. You better get this work done or your end is up out of here. And that's the message that they sent.
That's right. All right. Well, we got to send a message over to break. When we come back, we'll keep on rolling. Hour number 2 coming right up.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monty Bolaños.
Josh Jacobs has extended the Packers' lead.
Second down. Here's the handoff. Jacobs cuts it back to the end zone. Touchdown.
Stand it up.
Off the left side of the line, Jacobs cut it back to the right. It's 23-6, Green Bay.
You just heard it all on the Game Packers Radio Network. They're on top of the lines 24-6 halfway through the fourth quarter. The Rams are on top of the Texans at home 14-9 early in the fourth. And with the final 3 minutes, the 49ers and Seahawks are tied at 10 apiece in Seattle. Still early in the fourth between the Titans and the Broncos, and Denver is up 13-12. In Major League Baseball, Cal Raleigh hit his 53rd home run of the season as the Mariners outscored the Braves 18-2. Dodgers snapped their losing streak. They beat the Orioles 5-2. Shohei Ohtani had 2 home runs, and the Yankees edged the Blue Jays 4-3.
Tuscaloosa Oktoberfest, presented by UA Online, is back Saturday, September 20th at Government Plaza from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy authentic German food, live music, and fun for the whole family. Kids can join games and activities in the Kids Zone and even watch the brand new dog costume contest at 11:15. Entry is free, and food and drink will be available for purchase. Mark your calendar. Tuscaloosa Oktoberfest, September 20th.
I really want to know what Keenan told DeBoer. Yeah, I'm curious too. I don't know though. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you guys. I don't know. I think he was just hyping him up, like, you know what I'm saying, like telling him like, this don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, keep it going.
Well, whatever he told him, keep doing that.
Right.
I mean, because Kalen DeBoer got a soft mindset. I mean, he's too nice.
No, I mean, I feel like we're seeing a shift in that, to be honest with you.
He knows, like them dudes down there at Bama, man, they be nice. I'm telling you. See, all this stuff is coming to fruition, what I've been telling you. They got mad at me, substitute teacher. Oh, he too nice. So I was telling you, that whole West Coast vibe, fish tacos, it don't work. Don't work. Oh, bring up the food trucks over it. No, man. No, make them earn everything they get. Everything.
You know, you want to just see how they perform, and
why is the volume so low? Is chat? Is his volume low? Can y'all barely hear Ryan Grubb?
Made some good decisions. Obviously, both had success.
I can't hear him.
Getting the ball in the end zone. So they did well.
That's better.
How would you evaluate how Michael Carroll looked, and do you kind of see that as a competition at right tackle?
100%.
Chat, let me know if you guys can you hear the
Now we
interview?
hear it. They can
Is
hear
it loud though?
I thought Michael did.
Miller's
It's
Edge.
low. It's better.
Yeah, Ryan said it's low. Yeah, everybody's saying it's low. Yeah, hold on. Maybe it's Alabama's page. Hold on, because that's where I'm streaming it from. I don't know why it sounds like that.
Here is college football playoff national champion
Christian Miller
on Tide 100.9
and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into hour number 2 right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's arch support experts. All right, so we're going to take a call real quick. You heard from me, you heard from my dad, got our thoughts on the 73-0 blowout victory over ULM this past Saturday. But we want to go to you guys, get y'all's thoughts, and then we will hear from the coaches because, again, coordinators plus coaches board spoke to the media. We had Ryan Grubb playing here for a second during the break. Audio is real low, and I don't think that's on our end. I think that's just from the upload from the university, so I'll find another one. But let's go to Smitty on the phone lines first while we get that all squared away. Smitty, welcome in.
What's going on, gentlemen? How's it going today?
Oh, it's great.
What's up,
How are
Smitty?
you? Good. One thing, though, about this game, and people talk about was ULM. Okay, if you put out a performance like Georgia did against Alta Peak, folks will have been yapping about that, you know.
Or Clemson versus
like,
Troy. Troy about beat Clemson in Death Valley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but the thing is, that pass rush, they got to find something. And maybe throw a young guy or two in there passing downs because even though I know it's ULM, some of those younger guys have some juice out there, at least some twitch at least. Because that's the issue against those option running teams. If your linebackers are slow and if your pass rushers aren't the fast and quick twitch, you're susceptible to that. And I think that maybe I don't know, maybe you guys know more about this. Maybe you have to just dial it up and send somebody else. I hope your secondary holds up. And I don't know what you can do there. What can you do?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. And one thing about Ty, I was just looking for him to just stay and hang in the pocket. Because I knew the offensive line had a rough day against Florida State, but there were times when he bailed out of a clean pocket. And I think he did a good job with that because you got to trust your protect, you trust your guys. But the positives that I saw was like y'all talk about Ryan Grubb. To me, that's a good sign with the staff because the staff, they're introspect. They look at themselves also and say, what can we do better? And I think that's a sign of good leadership saying, hey, I messed up. Let's try it this way. Because I didn't mind them, like you said, putting other guys in. Because to me, it's different than going on media talking about, hey, we're gonna put people on the bench. You just do it by rotating. And like the thing I want fans to understand, Lawsir Brooks, A.K. Deere, Michael Carroll, and what's that, Keelan Ruff, a lot of other young guys, they were recruited by this staff, guys. I hope the fans know that.
Right.
And there's a guy, to me, that no one talked about who may got put on notice. Ryan Williams. Because you got guys behind you who are hungry and who can produce. Now, do you want to be Ryan Williams or you want to be Hollywood Williams? Hollywood Williams might be losing snaps to Lawsir Brooks or Rico Scott. Because those guys are hungry. They can do it. Now, if you want to be Ryan Williams, you may be able to keep your spot and get a lot of snaps because you have to send that message also with that team. And I bet when he comes back in, he'll be hanging on to the ball more. The routes are going to be better. He's going to be catching more. And my last thing, gentlemen, like y'all said with Kevin Riley, sometimes you have to take your opportunity until they give you a chance. And I appreciate that, and they're going with him. And to me, that's a good message to the locker room that, hey, I may not start off as the first choice, but when I got my opportunity, I kicked butt, and they rewarded me with it, with giving me the time. And but that's all I have. I'm just glad they did show up and show some pride, and now they just carry that forward to Wisconsin and handle your business there.
Yeah.
Yeah, And Ryan Williams, you're right. He needs to. I know he was out again, but he needs to step up. All this talking and podcasting, all this fingernail painting. So what he needs to do is go ahead and grow some hangnails, let his nails get some dirt up on his
Man, that
fingernails,
ain't
and
got
put that
nothing to
polish
do
in the
with
trash
man.
can. Because right now, yeah, it does. Because that's
No, it don't.
mentality. That's mentality. You become metrosexual and all that.
Okay,
I
relax.
ain't mad at
Whoa,
it, but bro,
brother.
if your plan ain't
Whoa,
matching,
you're gonna get us
stop all
canceled.
this stuff.
Relax.
No.
That ain't got nothing to
No,
do
I'm
with
just saying,
anything,
but
man.
I've been metro. I do my nails. I put this
Bro,
nail
what are you?
polish on there, but I ain't gonna play soft.
Anyway, here's the thing, man. I listen. I don't listen. I know a bunch of other guys that do podcasts and go out there and play fine. I think what it starts with is you just got to really. You can do both, right? Both can be true, right? You can do podcasts. You can do stuff outside. I know people don't want to hear that. They just want to say, "Oh, focus on ball." But listen, the deal is this, man. Like, there's other players that also do podcast stuff. Caleb Downs does a podcast with his brother. He plays pretty damn good. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's countless other examples. However, I do think this should light a fire under him, right? Personally, because we all know that you can be you're only as good as your last game. We always say that, and just be honest, man. Like the last, not just last game, but the last 6, 7 games for Ryan have not been great. Initially, a lot of people were kind of throwing it on the quarterback last year, but Week 1 versus Florida State, I know he moved, played more in the slot, but still, man, we hadn't seen that same level of play out of Ryan Williams in almost a year, if we're being honest, since the Georgia game, which was week 3 or so last season. So, look, I'm not worried about it. I think he's definitely going to just, bounce back, be himself. Again, all the other stuff that he does off the field, that's on him, right? If it is a distraction, he might need to reassess the stuff he does. But personally, he's been doing that since he got here, and he made plays earlier on in the year. I think he just needs to find a way to, get locked back in, get healthy, and just go about his business and go back to playing the way he, we know he can play, and I think he'll be fine. But there should be not a warning, but it should be something to say, like, all right, like, if you don't get on your game, Bernard has already passed him as wide receiver 1. That's a fact, right? Horton, he hadn't really been involved too much. I know he got his first touchdown last week or this past weekend, but Valencia Brooks, he's stepping up. Rico Scott, he's stepping up. There's some competition in that room, and obviously they want that, because here's a quick snippet real quick was it from Kalen DeBoer, or was it from – I think it's from Kalen DeBoer. No. It was from Ryan Grubb, but basically he was talking about the competition at right tackle, and he basically said that Michael Carroll is competing with Wilkin Formy for that right tackle spot. And like I said, guys, it was a clear indication from this past Saturday. They were getting guys in there early because they wanted to open back up the competition. Now, again, I'm not saying that was the same thing for Ty, so to speak, but for those other spots, 100%. I'm not saying they end up benching Ryan, but we all know, how this works. When you come back from injury, sometimes the guy behind you is playing really good. They don't just immediately throw you back in there and just start showing you all the love again. You kind of lose some of your reps, and if that guy continues to outplay you, we all know. It could be a situation, but I already know that it's not really going to happen.
Read that story on Wally Pipp. I ain't got time to break it down. Wally Pipp. Just if you Google Wally Pipp, and tell you that sometimes has to happen, meaning that you go down, you never get your job back, basically.
Right. So, but listen, I don't think that necessarily happens, because it's Ryan we're talking about. This dude we know the talent that he is. But you're right, though. That's what I was trying to explain to our listeners, that does happen, though. Like, even the best players, sometimes when they get hurt, the guy behind them ends up outplaying them. They get back in there, they get their reps, but by the end of the year, the other guy kind of took advantage of his opportunity.
Well, here's what competition does. It make you raise the standard of your game. When you know that a coach, again, Kalen DeBoer and his staff made it.
Wait, I don't see. Okay, there it goes.
When you get complacent and players become complacent, that's a problem. But when you keep them on their toes and you understand that you got to play or you out, the next guy going to get in there, I promise you, you'll focus harder. You'll practice harder. everything is going to be better. That's why healthy competition is extremely good for a team, and it's good for the player. I mean, that's NFL. That dude's coming in every week. They're working somebody else out. Who that dude in the locker room? They working another linebacker out? I'm just saying, you got to keep guys on their toes and make them continue to be, focused, not complacent, and continue to get better. If not, that's what made Nick Saban who he was. Because, guys, I don't care if you might be starting now, but go out there for a game or two and play, like boo-boo. There's a 4-star, 5-star. There's another hungry dude in there that's trying to get that bag. And if you open that door, Wally Pipp situation happens. You're going to end up transferring because you're mad. Well, don't be mad. You allow that to happen. You allow that dude to come in there and take your job. It ain't the coach's fault. No, you did. And they have to have this attitude as a player. If a player is not worried about somebody taking his bag, taking money up, food off his table, taking diapers out of his child's bag, if they don't have that mindset, they're going to become complacent, and they'll play like we saw against Florida State. We want guys, Alabama want guys that we saw against ULM. Nobody cared it was ULM. We're going to beat them like they stole something because that's what we're supposed to do. And that's the attitude and the mindset that I'm talking about.
Absolutely. And I do believe that this could be a good opportunity to kind of light that fuse or light that fire with Ryan because like you said, man, I mean, there's clear competition there. Now, granted, we know he's going to get opportunities when he does come back. But if those guys keep proving that they're, also reliable, they're going 100%. I mean, it might just open that door. We'll see. It's happened before. I mean, it won't be the first time it's ever happened. Austin says, to your points that you were making, he said, Tommy C and FSU did TikTok dances before and after putting 260 rushing yards on our heads. Doesn't matter if you win, I guess. That's what I'm saying. I mean, look, as much as people talk about podcasts, social media, and I get it's annoying, right? You've seen it all the time. Unfortunately, that's the generation that we live in. And all these people are really doing it, right? It's not just our guys. I guarantee you Ohio State that won a national championship last year. If you go back and look, I guarantee you they had a bunch of guys doing the same crap. Podcast, TikTok, same thing. I just mentioned, Caleb Downs does a podcast with his brother. So I think it's all about how you handle it, man.
And Caleb Downs is on the field making plays, and he's an All-American.
But that's proving that.
Caleb Downs
No, but you're proving my point. You're proving my point.
Not caring, yeah.
But you're proving my point. That's what I'm saying. Like, two things can be true. You just have to have the discipline to understand. Like, when it's business, right? Again, when I was in school, we talked about this all the time. So I'm not going to sit there and beat a dead horse. But like, it's not like we sat there and literally, as soon as we left from the complex at 6:30 in the evening, after study hall at 7. We didn't go to our dorms and immediately open back up our binder of football notes and just study football until we laid our head down to sleep and dream about football, then wake up and go work. Like, come on, dude. Like, man, we play video games. We go to each other's dorms, chop it up, play spades. You know what I'm saying? Like, even during camp, like, you're never going to be doing football 100%. So I'm not.
Yeah, but you're bonding. You're bonding. That's different. You're bonding with your teammates. Y'all playing games. You're competing still, even on the stupid video game, right? Which I think is stupid that grown men.
But what about Matt? But think about Madden or NCAA, in which those guys play a bunch. Technically, I mean, it's ball. I get it's not the same, but you get what I'm saying. There's stuff you can still kind of practice, like looking at, all right, what kind of coverage are we playing, or what should I play right here, right? Or what's the person? There's some benefits.
Podcasting is different. Y'all are talking about clothing styles and all this stuff, and it's kind of like all these reality shows, and he broke up with this girl, and the most foolish stuff. I'm just saying, if it's me, like if I'm a coach, man, you're not doing no podcast during football season. You got to be focused on football. If anything is deterring you from focusing on your job, if anything is stopping you from being excellent at your job, it don't need to happen. Because, some guys are mature enough to do that. A lot of guys aren't. And so my point is, the way college football is now, as I said last week, is no more amateur sports. They may call it that, but it's not. It's a professional sport. When you get paid, you are a professional. You are not an amateur. Therefore, professionals get paid to do a job. And if you don't do your job well, you get cut. You get a pink slip. Bring your playbook. Go do that somewhere else if they allow you. You're not doing that here. So that has to be the mindset of the coach. I know you want to be friends with them. I know you want to do dances and all this stuff. No. At this point in time, the way the game is now, hey, yeah, you're getting paid, but guess what? And just eat for free lunches, free clothes, money. Oh, I'm gonna stay another year. I mean, and then you're gonna go on the field and give me some crap? No, sir. If I'm a coach, I'm sorry, you're not gonna be here with that. You're not gonna be in my program with that type of effort. No, we give you in Alabama nutrition, food, where they live.
Dude, you're going down a whole.
No, I'm just saying. I'm going back to mentality, though. I'm saying the coaches have to hold players at a more serious mentality, because if you don't, they're going to get complacent. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, you sound like the get off my grass guy, because you're connecting one thing to another, to this and that. But
you're not going to cut it right.
Yeah, 100%. I'm the same way. Yeah, right. Even with the Hispanic guys that I hired, that I love practicing my Spanish with. I mean, I had to switch groups because they left a bad spot. They didn't cut a spot. Anyway, no, you're connecting all these. Listen, but you're connecting all these things, man. That listen, you're talking about not taking this and that, bro. First of all, I don't even think that the latest episode that they posted on his podcast specifically, because you're talking about it, was them interviewing Jake Coker and Ryan Anderson, right? And they were asking them about winning the national championship. What were those teams like? So, if anything, that actually is a good one. And it was pre-recorded back in the summer, because I want to say it was around the time like the mullet toss. So I don't even know if they're actively doing it like that anyway, number one. Number two, like I just told you, you're talking about the NFL, it's a job. Dude, there's NFL guys with podcasts. Now, granted, I did hear that some of Micah Parsons' teammates weren't too big on it. But again, that's because he's going on there. And he literally would just be like he's talking ball, but also sometimes I feel like he's gossiping about like teammates and stuff on there. They're not really doing that. And then the last thing is, if we're talking about all this NIL stuff, you already know this. You worked with y'all's collective. You got to find ways to generate revenue and all that. So, at the end of the day, right, you can podcast and still be locked in and be a football player that goes and handles business and all that, bro. I feel like we talked about this. There's no need to keep beating a dead horse. You got other stuff we got to dive into, but I think the biggest thing is with him. I don't necessarily. I mean, if you want to talk about like streaming on Twitch, right? Maybe that, or because I know he's been doing a bunch of that. Yes, listen, I get there are distractions out there.
I don't even know what Twitch is. What's that?
It's just it's a streaming platform. A lot of people stream video games or other stuff. But this is what I'm telling you though. When you were in college, the last thing I'll say, and we can move to the next topic. You weren't doing podcasts. But you might have been getting yourself involved in some other stuff outside of football that was would we all would consider as a distraction, right? Like y'all's day, y'all didn't have streaming and podcasts, but y'all had parties, y'all had girls.
Well,
come on, don't do that. No. I know you're a preacher now. I know you're a preacher now, but you weren't preaching back in '90. You weren't preaching in '90.
Football was football. No. Here's the thing. When football was football, I focused on my job.
Because in the building, I'm saying outside the building. Come on, don't do that.
I ain't have time to do all that doing football. I was focused on my job. I was focused on how I'm going to get my bag. How I'm going to get out from wearing Converse shoes where the whole bottom would be falling off and walking down the highway. I'm trying to focus on how I'm going to get some jeans that didn't have holes in them. I'm trying to focus on how I'm going to get a car that I can put gas. I wasn't worried about all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. My mindset wasn't about no partying. Yeah, then the off season, they would sometimes go to parties, go down to 5 Points, kind of like the boulevard down there, university. But yeah, of course I did. Of course I chased skirts. Of course I did that. But it was the proper time. But when it's football, I focused on football.
Man, get out of this dude.
When
so
it was
cap,
time
man.
to chase skirts, you chase skirts. It's called.
Bro, what was Lawrence Taylor doing?
Smart, man.
Hold on, no. I got the perfect. I got something for you.
Prioritize.
What did you play with a guy who prioritized everything but football and his ass in the Hall of Fame? Lawrence Taylor, you even said showed up to the game late and drunk and proceeded to go out there and play. How? What do you want? A guy doing a podcast on his own time? Or you're just making it seem like, oh, you can't. That dude, I'm not saying.
You're missing the key point. The key point was he still got 2 sacks. Now, if he was getting drunk and high and getting his tail run over, and like we saw in the first game, and I promise you that would not have lasted. But yeah, if you can get drunk, if you can drink a gallon or whatever of tequila and go out there and get them 2 sacks, they don't care. And so that's all I'm saying, bro.
I agree. I'm just telling you though, but to make it seem like. All I'm saying is for all these folks that literally make it seem like now that we're sitting our old asses on a podcast. Make it seem like podcasts are the worst thing to ever happen, right? I'm just saying, y'all make it seem as if like y'all didn't do anything but eat, sleep, and breathe football.
No. I'm just trying to tell you.
If anything, I was close to that because I didn't go out, I didn't party in college, I didn't do any of that. But I'm just saying, I did have teammates on the years that we won national championships that I know for a fact.
Ruben, we talked about that.
Well, I'm not talking. No, I'm talking about I had dudes on Tuesday. I'm talking about that's like a main practice point of the week. They're out on a Tuesday getting hammered down on the strip, hammered on a Tuesday, and we won a national championship that year. I'm telling you, it was a common thing. I'm talking about these guys had a routine on Tuesday, so they weren't podcasts. They're doing worse. They're going out and drinking, getting hammered and partying. Guess what? Saturday, they handled business. And a couple of those guys proceeded to be first-round draft picks. So
I get some guy, but I'm just saying, man, if you're doing these things, I end with this. If you're doing these things, podcasting and Twitch and Witch and whatever else y'all got these days, then you better be making some daggone plays on the football field.
I agree.
I'm just saying, everybody chased skirts, bro, in college. Yeah, that was a thing. Right, we used to have kegs in the dorm room. South Carolina. If you go watch the movie, watch the movie, The Program. You see how bad South Carolina was with steroids and alcohol and women. Well, that was my era.
Hold on, you wait, you were juicing?
I didn't do them. No, I didn't use them.
Yeah,
I didn't need to. Know what I use? Collard greens, cornbread, pinto beans, black eyed Susans, fat back. That's what I use. I didn't
you used that to gain muscle or to develop diabetes?
I gained whatever I needed to gain, but I didn't need no I didn't need no needle in my butt to get strong. Most of our offensive line in South Carolina when I played was on steroids. They had so many zits on their face, but you can play a popping the pimple game.
The back gets hit bad too, man. Yeah, and one of my buddies, his back was just tore up from he was on test.
Dude, for real. I'm like, how many pimples you got on your face right there? 36 of them. It was unbelievable. But they bad butt cheeks down with a stick this in, whatever. But my thing is like, I need to stop right there. But I'm just trying to say. Fatback, pinto bean, cornbread, and go in there and lift weights, throw our loaded watermelons in the summer, right? In them field of 18-wheeler trucks, we had a line tossing them things. That was what I did. I'm just saying, I did it the hard way. So now you get money, you getting clothes, you got Gucci, you got Louis Vuitton, you got chains full of diamonds, you got gold diamond out in your mouth. These dudes walking around here like they're Liberace. I'm talking about you gonna do all of that and get a parking lot full of cars and you go give that kind of, my point is it's unacceptable, and praise God that Kayla and the boy finally said, you know what? I'll start treating you like friends and homeboys and kumbaya. And listen here, y'all not gonna have these people calling me out like this. And if y'all don't play, Barnesby, I'm gonna get the next guy. Inside guy, I'm telling you, that's what Tim Keenan was talking about. That's the standard of Bama. That's what y'all had. Because if you didn't play, guess what? You're gonna be up out of there because Nick Saban didn't play that stuff, bro. That's the attitude to Alabama. That's the standard. That's what they got to get back to, and then they go play. And if they do that, they'll be in good position. So that's all I'm saying. So, Ryan Williams is a heck of a talent, bro. It's unbelievable. But when painting your fingernails is more important than making catches, you can't be on podcasts and painting your fingernails and dropping wide open passes. No. You can't do that. We can't give you that kind of money. We can't give you this expensive fingernail polish. We can't do all that. You're not doing that. You're not getting the facial scrubs and all of that and dropping passes. That's all I'm saying. If you keep catching them and running like you did in Georgia, spinning and boom, 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 but you can paint your fingernails, toenails. You get 4 earrings in each earlobe. Do what you need to do, as long as you're catching them passes. That's all I got to say.
Jesus. Okay. Yeah, we got to hit a timeout. This is definitely time to hit a timeout. We come back. We go back to the phone lines. Want to make sure we get you guys on there. Plus, we'll weave in some Kalen DeBoer audio, who spoke to the media, talked a lot about competition, a lot of questions regarding, the decisions on playing guys at certain moments, and all comes back to competition. So definitely think that's the right move by this coaching staff. We'll break it down and more coming up right on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Oh my God. Yeah, they man, you're out of control, bro. You're out of control.
I just tell the truth, bro. That's it.
I'm saying though, but what about like Dennis Rodman? I mean, like you look at Dennis Rodman, that dude's one of the best to play the game of basketball. I mean, dude, literally, you talk about toenails, fingernails, piercings,
He was
and
one
we
of
know
the
he
best
was doing some
rebounders
other
in the
stuff.
history.
But what I'm saying is that
nobody cared. He went to Vegas. Phil Jackson would tell. Listen to the story. He knew he'd go party. He'd get on a private plane, go to Vegas, stay up drunk, and women chasing skirts. But he's still getting 18. He was beating down the mailman Carmelo. Nobody cares if you're doing your job. That's all I'm telling you. But if you're not doing your job, you can't do all this extracurricular. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, but I think that the story behind the nail polish, somebody like the younger sister does it or something. I mean, you don't care about that. Listen, again, clearly I don't do that. Now, last time I checked, you go to the nail salon all the time.
I do. I get my toes done. I got my right big toe is so black as night. I can't get the toenail. It might be fungus. It might be, I don't know what it is.
Probably
and I ain't walking around with flip-flops and my toe all blacked up. So I go get them to work on it, and they put that nice. I get my toes painted.
How is that different than
ain't nobody paying me to get sacks no more. I done got mine. I got retirement sitting there waiting on me. Listen, don't try to put it on me. I done did my time.
Oh Lord. Wow.
Camera, I will show you.
No, we don't need to see feet. No, we don't. Hold on. No, I'm taking him off the stage. We don't need to see feet. We'll put him back on the stage once his feet are off the camera. All right, they're off. Yeah. I mean, this dude, I'm working overtime trying to I
got to get my head right. I got to go down here and do ministry for food. I'm talking to the football team today. And I'm going to talk to these guys today about all this podcast stuff they doing. I'm going to let them know.
Good morning.
Tell them what? I mean, bro, they're high schoolers, man. Like, leave them kids
that's
alone,
why you got
bro.
to get them while you got time. Because as soon as they get down there with y'all tell them they can do anything they want to do.
Us focus on our preparation. The week 1 to week 2 improvements that you'd expect to have.
I'm gonna mute my mic. I got to get a sandwich.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that's across the board. And questions about Tide, I'm sure on that. Your quarterback's always a main kind of a controller of that, and he didn't.
Hold on, let me just take him off the stage. I don't know what he's doing. I'm scared. I don't know. He might accidentally record something he shouldn't. So maybe we should take him off stage.
Both days, highs between 85 and 88. Thursday, partly to mostly sunny with a high at 89. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9.
He gonna get us
It's
canceled,
81
guys.
degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on
Of
Tide
all people,
100.9.
the pastor's about to get us canceled. Oh, God. And welcome back into Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Definitely want to hear from Coach DeBoer, but I want to get to you guys first. Let's go back to the phone lines and get y'all's thoughts on everything. 205-342-9904. We got Q06 up next. Q06, estás aquí?
¿Cómo te va? Man, y'all said a lot. I don't know if my core is still on.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
man.
he's on. He's on. I think you just get him a little sandwich, but he's here, brother. He's off the chain today, though.
Well, but listen, he's not too far off base on some of the things he's talking about, Christian. If it is true that Kirkpatrick was taking pictures during halftime, that's still not a good look of them showing discipline and being ready to play. And then you notice before the game, Proctor out there with a telephone in his hand, warming up. And you see when Coach came over there? Coach DeBoer came over there and said something to him. He put the phone up.
Oh,
So, I mean,
let me throw in a couple things right there. So I think the picture of Dre, I think he took that before the game, but there's bad service in the stadiums. I'm sure you guys are aware, right? And sometimes what happens is social media, like it won't upload until it gets proper service. So maybe the service came back later and it did that, because that's happened to me before. I've been out, like, working the sidelines. I try to upload something on our Twitter page and it don't post until like after the game until I get better service. So I think that's what happened with him. If it was during the game, then obviously, I mean, like that's annoying that guy's on the phone. But I don't think that was the case. I think it was what I initially said.
I haven't had it confirmed yet, but I'm like, man.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to unless you ask him. But I will say this, though, in terms of Proctor having his phone, I'll be honest with you. Nowadays, everybody has their phone pregame. Here's why.
No, when he's warming up, he's doing his position move.
Well, here,
no,
not when you're doing your warm up with your team or anything. But what I'm saying is, pregame. Think about it. Your phone is your camera, your iPod, or your music store. Like, so if you're listening to music, you have to have your phone. So, like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Everybody, if you have headphones on the field and you're listening to music, you have to have your phone because it has to be in the vicinity if you're using Bluetooth, right? So if he had his phone in his hand, like to control music, that's one thing. Now if he was like texting on Twitter, recording, so that's another. And I don't know what he was doing, but if we're just saying, he had his phone.
Come over and say something. I saw DeVoe come over and say something. He put it down. I was like, really? Because I know last week the media was all over that. The media was all over him last week. Look at them running focus. They play on their phones, But anyway, that's not the point. Too. Y'all said something a few moments ago, about maybe Ryan Williams but even this level, Jan Miller come back this week or next week. Does he just necessarily got the first dibs to get back out there? Or is Kevin Riley going to get some more pushes? I mean, whoever practices the best is supposed to play, right?
So normally how it works, Q, is I always say, look, I mean, Jam is running back one. With him coming back off injury, they could still have Kevin, right? Take the first couple snaps while they work Jam in there, right? Because he's coming back from an injury. Or I've seen situations where once the main guy is fully healthy, he just jumps back in. They obviously still keep, the young guy that's been playing well in the rotation and getting him plenty of snaps. It just depends on how they do it, Q. But to me, in that type of situation, look, it's going to be Jam and Kevin. I don't know who gets the first carry, but they're both probably going to get plenty of carries. Then moving forward, I guess you kind of adjust accordingly, right? If Jam still looks like he's a little not shy, but you get what I'm saying? Like he's coming back from a collarbone and he's still kind of working back from it. Probably give Kevin a few more still. But, yeah, that situation I'm not worried about because it's not like what we're talking about with Ryan is a little bit different. Before Ryan got hurt, he had a very poor performance. Honestly, I think it was like one of the worst graded receiver performances like that week or whatever. Jam didn't do anything wrong. He just got hurt. And if anything, he was crushing it through camp. So that situation is going to be a little bit different in my opinion.
Truth be told, I'm not sure that if Ty Simpson would remain, he'd have some incompletions if Ryan had been playing it. He probably dropped a few. But I mean, just seeing how he's been playing here recently, I mean, he probably would have dropped a few of those passes. But did you see the look on Ty's face whenever he didn't go back in that series? They brought in the backup quarterback. He's like, I like the fact that he didn't like that. Even if the coach told him last Monday that he was going to give, Mac a little run, he didn't like that. Ty was not a fan of that. And it was probably because he was hot. I mean, what was he? During that time, he might have been 12 for 12 or whatever. He wasn't missing nothing. So, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you got to be mad.
Listen,
that's
yeah, I mean, that's the competitor in you, right? Like, I'm gonna be completely straight up. Like, when I was playing and we would start blowing people out, I already knew. Like, y'all remember how this went? Like, we would be up on a team like 45 to 3, right? And it'd be like the third quarter. We already knew as starters, like, oh, okay, they're about to pull us. And in my head, I used to get mad too. You know why? Because like I told you guys last week, man, like, you only get so many opportunities to play, right? You work year round to get these opportunities. I want to be out there. I want as many opportunities to go rush that quarterback to get as many sacks as I can, especially like Ole Miss, right? I had 3 sacks in the first half of that game. They gave me 2.5 because Anthony jumped on it, which it was so late. I don't know how they gave him a half. I'm going to let him slide because that's my brother. But I knew we were going to get pulled. We went in for like 1, maybe 2 series in the third quarter. I was heated. I wanted the other guys to play true, but I'm like, man, nah, I got 3 sacks in the first half, bro. I'm trying to go for a record. I want 5 because I was killing them that whole game. And I knew what are they going to do when they're playing from behind? Throw it. Yeah, so, I mean, as a competitor,
that's called selfishness.
No, don't do that. Don't you do that. That's not selfishness. That is not selfish. No, it's not. How is that selfish? You're telling me
selfish if you got 3 sacks, the game is over. Them
in the
dudes
third quarter,
work hard,
I'm not talking about no. They in the fourth, not in the third. The third? No.
I remember you. Hold on. When the shoe was on the other
way around, yeah.
And you were behind, and I sit there in that dinner thing one day, about ready to get in Tosh Laporte's butt by not playing y'all much when the game was over 5 minutes ago in the fourth quarter. And they up 30-something points. And y'all sitting there, and they still wouldn't put y'all into last minute. I said something to him about it.
Exactly. And that's why I was mad, because I'm like, I never got in no third quarter. They waited till the end of the fourth to let us get some reps. They let Tim and Ryan. He would let Tim and Ryan stand because he knew he wanted them to run up their numbers, which I was cool with. So when it was my turn, you're right. I wanted to run up my numbers too. I'm like, bro, yeah, third quarter, too early. No, too soon. Fourth, you got it. Third, hell no. Nah. Go ahead, QO6.
Hey, listen, one final thing. I know we're probably crunched on time, but is Florida State really a top 10 team? I mean, did Alabama just get knocked in the mouth by a average team, or did they get knocked in the mouth by a good team?
I think it's too early to tell, in my opinion. But like I said, week 1, I think we'll know more. But I tried to tell you guys, I thought there was a chance that this Florida State team was going to be a much better football team. I didn't know how much better. But I'll say this: they played somebody that I didn't even know existed. I think it might be the junior college version of Texas A&M. It's like East Texas A&M. Never heard of it. But
it's kind of like that school right down the road from Alabama.
What's it called? Shelton. Like Shelton. No, like Shelton.
No, not Shelton.
Like Shelton.
Like Auburn.
I don't know what other school. Oh, West Alabama, maybe. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is, it's hard to tell until we see them play better competition. But I will say, though, with Gus Malzahn, with that new defensive coordinator, I mean, I'll be honest, I think Tommy is a perfect fit for what they're trying to do. Their skill guys are really good. Offensive line is decent. I think they're going to be a pretty decent team. But we'll know more when they play Clemson, Miami, and those guys. But
you're not going to know nothing about Clemson because Clemson's terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're better than East Texas A&M.
Maybe Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech is the best team in the ACC right now.
Hey, Corey, I said something negative about Kirkpatrick, but the heat that he's bringing, the way he was hitting people, they kind of reminded you of old Alabama football, right? I mean,
he's got it in his blood, right? I mean, he comes from one of the guys that laid the pavement, Dre Kirkpatrick.
You gotta have bad intentions, brother. When you come hit somebody, don't be a catcher, be a striker. Have bad intentions. And I like it. I don't care. If somebody got that attitude that I'll bust you in your mouth, and I'm gonna take that player all day, every day, twice on Sunday. That's just me.
I mean, he can't play to halftime this next game. But you know what? I mean, the energy and the way he came head hunting, I mean, I don't like the targeting rule. I mean, I'll just be true. I don't like it because things are moving. It's a fast-moving play. Everything's going too fast. But he came in and take dude's head off. And that's Alabama football. I
Hmm.
mean, that's what I used to see in Alabama football. So, aggression, he has some aggression about him. And I like that.
Oh,
He
yeah.
don't look like a very big kid. He looks very small. He don't look very big.
And he ain't very tall. But I mean, he ain't like skinny or nothing, but he's not very tall. But shoot. Listen, I get he got the penalty for targeting, but hell, after week 1, I'll let that slide at this point, right? I mean, I just want somebody who's going to go put their nose on the football and try to make an impact. And he was flying around trying to do that, which Coach DeBoer spoke about him and said, I mean, he's been doing it in the spring and in camp. So they weren't really shocked by it. That's kind of how he's been playing. And I think he'll probably earn some more opportunities moving forward if
We
there are
just need
some.
to get some more cornbread, fried chicken, white beans. We need to put some muscles on him, man, because, I mean, he's a head on it. He hitting. We just need to get him away from the ice cream truck. Get him off the podcast.
Yes, sir. All right, CLP, and he said he got to go to lunch.
Oh,
I'm
man.
eating mine
Q06,
right now.
we're going to keep it rolling because we got to squeeze some people in here. We appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it.
How about them
Yes, sir.
Indianapolis Colts and Daniel Jones?
Yeah, they did
Best
two
of my
in
time.
they did two in Miami bad, man.
I'm tell you what. As I eat this little last crunch, Brian Daboll, I think you're out of your league. I think Brian Daboll need to go back to college because he's not the head coach of the New York Giants. So I love him as a
The
dude.
league neighbors wasn't feeling him either.
Brian Daboll, I think he gets to axe the pink slip before the season's over. It's unacceptable.
We're
It's
gonna see.
unacceptable. He lost all that weight. He probably was doing GLP and them other shots. He could look good, bald head and beard. His little pullover looks good on him. But the play of this football team is nauseating. So it's time for Brian Daboll. That's my big coaching thought of the week. Time for Brian Daboll to exit the building. He got plenty of money. Take care of them kids and do his thing.
There you go.
Terrible.
All right, we got to hit a timeout real quick. We come back. We keep on rolling right here. Todd 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
Like the Alabama Crimson Tide, Irvin's working Western believes that you need to develop a strong team to carry out a successful game plan. At Irvin's, our dedicated and knowledgeable staff works hard to have the right lineup of products like...
I'm over here looking. I'm like hearing the dog eat some food. I'm like, I picked up all the dog food. I'm like, what is going on? How about this dog is on the countertop eating the food? He's laying down on the countertop eating the food. Like, this dog is legit on the countertop. Yo, this is crazy. I'm like, what am I hearing over there? Dang, so we're not really gonna have time to hear from the board, but
made some plays on Saturday, and so got some confidence in him. Made guys miss. He made big catches on third down. In the first game, he played with some aggression on some special teams plays that we were hoping for, and he came through. As far as how it affects everything, it adds him to the mix, which then moves people around. Doesn't mean you have to play everyone, in the same spot the whole game. I think Jern can play inside and outside. I think Ryan can play inside and outside. And so, we just got to always continue to be evaluating that throughout the season, and different dynamics will change too. That
he's talking about lots here, Brooks, by the way.
Fortunate or unfortunate. So, Ryan's got that versatility. He's taken a number of snaps inside, but we know what he can do outside too. And so he made a lot of nice plays, as we all know, on the outside. So I thought Isaiah, Germ, I thought they did some nice things too. Rico did his thing both inside and outside. So, we got a lot of versatility with the guys. We just got to continue to hone in on how it all fits together.
Katie, second row on the left.
You had said last week that Jam could possibly play against Wisconsin.
Day to day, and I really don't think we'll know until.
Sorry, I'm skipping that. He's just talking about Jam's updates day to day.
Aggressively trying to. We just got to make sure doctors.
No, that's we'll go to Emily Grace next.
Coach, I know pregame can be a little bit of a blur, but there was a moment between you and Tim Keenan that was shown on the broadcast. Can you share what TK said to you pregame, if you can, as well as what he means to the team and the staff?
What was that?
It was pregame, and he came up to you, and y'all both seemed very locked in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was hyping you up, telling you that he's got your back or whatever it was, but it seemed to have a little bit of an impact.
Yeah. Well, TK, I can say this: he really missed not being at the game in week 1, and he's a high energy guy. And I know that I really challenged him with and told we had that exchange and him bringing that energy not just to our players but our coaching staff, including me. So I really he's a captain. He's poured into this program a lot. I do remember now. It was on the sideline there, him standing right there. Right before kickoff. And so, that's just, that's TK. He loves this team, and he's been nothing but the high-end support and, giving everything you got. And that includes me, and, feel very supported by him for sure, to answer.
So there you go. So that's what was said. Well, not really, but. All right. Welcome back into the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We'll save the interviews to tomorrow because we were so loaded on the phone lines. We'll try to roll through some of these as well. And if we don't get to you again, it's not intentionally. We just go in order. We try to give you guys enough time. We'll try to speed through these, but you always can hang on the line and then be first in for the next show. I know you guys would love to chat with. Oh, you're on mute.
They're not here for the next show. They're here for the Miller's
obvious.
Edge.
Yeah, well, that's clear. But I'm just saying that way if they don't feel like they wasted their time. All right, let's keep on rolling. We got Turner up next. Turner, welcome in.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Turner?
What up?
And I'm just heading north on 77. I'm gonna spend the night in Winston-Salem tonight. But I thought, and I'll preface this with, I know it was Louisiana Monroe, but Alabama did to Louisiana Monroe what they should and expect to do to Louisiana Monroe. So that made me happy. I think the line played well, the quarterbacks played well, we got a lot of running backs, got some time out there. I think the defense played well. Granted, it was Louisiana Monroe. But one thing that stood out to me was that Brooks kid from New Jersey. Ron Williams better watch out. That kid is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about him through spring and fall, but now you guys get to see what we've been really excited about. And I was glad to see it in an actual game setting. Obviously doing it in practice is one thing, but seeing him do it out there, even against Louisiana Monroe, man, it was very encouraging that he's definitely got a bright future, and he's everything that I thought he was. Seeing him in practice.
Yeah, I mean it was good, and it was good to see a lot of guys get playing time. Right? I mean, I think that they came out with fire. I did like that. They came out with intensity. Like I said, it is ULM. Hopefully that can carry over to Wisconsin. They can, play with the same intensity and the same fire and dominate, and then, then you got to make that trip over the road to Athens. And I don't know, Georgia, they should have, on paper, they probably should have dominated Austin Peay, but they didn't. Now, a good showing by Alabama over ULM and a poor showing by Georgia over Austin Peay doesn't mean anything. One game doesn't mean another. But, it's early in the season to say Florida State's good, Alabama's bad, Georgia's bad, or Georgia's good. I think that's why you play the game. So you got to play the game. On another note, I did make it down to Billy Bryce Saturday in the monsoon. And then I don't think they started too late. We made it in the game. We watched South Florida beat Florida. And then we were like, let's go back to the house and cook steaks and drink bourbon. And that's what we did.
Yeah, I see you sent me a picture of that bourbon and that big old, looked like a porterhouse, a tomahawk, whatever you had. It looked very good. And yeah, I was down there, but I did not go. It was a 2.5 hour delay, so I just kind of hung out in the condo across the street from the stadium, just relaxing, and I went on to the house. Both games, it was an ugly game. Clemson played an ugly game. South Carolina was ugly for first half at least, then they exploded in the third quarter. But when you play weatherly late games like that, and they're initially night games, you got to sit around all day, and then you got to wait 2 or 3 more hours. You're not going to have one of fluid game. It's just not going to happen. But just as long as you get the dub, chalk it up, hopefully stay healthy, and then move on to the next week. South Carolina Vandy is going to be a great one this weekend. It's going to be a great game.
I think so too. And I think, I would think as a player, and Christian, you can probably answer this, and Corey, you can too. As a college football player, when you're playing the South Carolina, Georgia, or Alabama, Georgia, or Alabama, Tennessee, it's a lot easier to get up and get fired up for that game than it is for a South Carolina State or a Louisiana Monroe, I would think.
No, it is hard. I mean, because you're gonna beat them to a pulp, but you got to always, again, it becomes about you. If you can keep your mindset on you and your team and not the other side, then that frees you to play the game the way you're supposed to play it. And that's what Alabama did so well on Saturday. So proud of how they played and performed with high intensity. And you get those types of results when you do that.
That's right. Well, that's what just my thoughts of the game. I just thought it was a better improvement. And I think when guys get out there, all the quarterbacks got to play. When you do that, like Corey, like you said, the healthy competition, that's healthy competition. And those are just my thoughts. I just wanted to call and say that. Good talking to y'all, and
Absolutely.
Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you turning Roll Tide, man. Definitely agree with that. All right, we got Ellis up next. Ellis, welcome in. We got to roll through here.
Roll Tide.
There he is. What's up, Ellis?
Tide roll.
What's up, gentlemen?
Not much, Ellis. You got about 45 seconds, man. So I'm
just waiting to say that I'm with your dad. This is the way we should have been playing.
Right.
Even though it was not a big team, it shows that they still want to play and they want to play good. And
absolutely,
I don't see how you're going to be able to keep the Brooks off the field, though.
They're going to find ways. That's what Kalen DeBoer was saying in the press conference. I mean, whether it's throwing him inside, outside, just finding different combinations. That's the good thing about receivers, right? You can move guys around and put different guys in and out of the rotation. It's not like you're benching somebody, so to speak. So, yeah, I definitely think you'll see him get some more opportunities for sure.
And one more thing, the guy that kicks the ball off, I like how that's done because instead of kicking it off into the end zone, that right there, where you make it bounce funny, that gives you a chance to get down there and get on top of them before they get took off. So.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, Ellis, we're going to try to squeeze Bryce in here because we got about 40 seconds left in the show. So I'm going to try to get him.
All right,
roll Tide. What happened to me coming down there tomorrow? I had to call and tell you about that.
Yeah, please do, man. Please do. Look forward to hearing from that, Ellis. Yes, sir. All right, let's try to squeeze Bryce in here real quick if we can. Well, we got about.
First of all, Phil, please, you my dude, but don't be messing with my man Christian now.
What I do?
But don't mess
what you talking about?
I'm always,
what I do?
Talking about him being greedy, wanting to get more sacks. That's the way he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Like you said,
don't hold the All-Star back. But
there you go.
POP. Is that game in Vanderbilt in South Carolina? Is that at Bryce Stadium or is that in Commonwealth?
I think he might have froze up for a second, but I'm trying to look it up. I don't know. That's a good question. It is.
Christian.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking it
I'm
up.
glad all the quarterbacks got to play, and I'm glad we played a lot of people. But I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid until we go to that.
Yeah. So that Vanderbilt game will be in Columbia. And I agree with you. I think the biggest thing,
Bryce, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing, Bryce, you're right, is to be patient. And that's why I summed it up, as the right step, right? We took the right step, right? I'm not ready to say everything is perfect, right? I know the title on YouTube is Bama's back, the question mark. I'm not ready to say we're officially back, but we took a right step to getting back. Right. And I think that's the most important.
At least it felt good to see somebody hitting people.
100%.
I like that, and everybody got to play it, all three quarterbacks. And also, 21 line on this Wisconsin game. Vegas is crazy. Big old line like that. I don't like that line.
We'll see. I know Wisconsin's been struggling a little bit. They definitely struggled last week. The second half, they pulled it together. But I don't know. If we ride our momentum, I think we'll be all right. But, Bryce, we appreciate it, man.
Hey,
yeah,
I
he's a good coach.
Luke Fickle's going to have them ready to play early in the day.
Heck, I hope so. I want them to come up. I don't want it to be a straight beat down. I want to play a solid team. I want us to get some good experience. So hopefully they do show up.
I hope they're ready to, to get on it, and do like they did last week. But it's gonna be tough because you got a better opponent you're going up against. And thanks for letting me talk, Krista. But
absolutely,
he didn't like me getting on to him.
He lost signal. He lost signal. You're good, Bryce. We appreciate you, man. We'll talk soon. Good deal. All right, we got to get out of here. Make room. Wyatt Fulton coming up next. Appreciate everybody on the stream, on the Tide 100.9 app and Signal, all that good stuff on Facebook as well. We will see you guys in 22 hours. And we also will be joined by Slade Bolden tomorrow. So be sure to be ready for that as well. Right here on the Miller's Edge, presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Sport Experts. See you guys then.